Hey guys, welcome to the Rat Grind channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm recording the video a little bit later today because I wanted to spend some time with my family on a Friday. So that's what I did. So I'm getting in on this a little bit later. So you might see my video a little bit after midnight when I should be done and I have already posted it. So if this is your first time joining me on this channel, to the Rat Grind channel, thank you so much for listening and thank you so much for your time. This channel is dedicated to me documenting my journey of making the most out of my escape from the rat race. So I do cryptocurrency videos, updates, news, coins that I see value in, strategies that I see value in, FUDs and FOMO news that I see out there. I also talk about my Robinhood trading, growing my ETF and stock positions because I want to be able to pattern day trade in the near future. So I'm growing my account little by little, day by day. All right. So let's get started, guys. If this is your first time listening, please do smash the likes, hit the notification bell, and also please don't forget to subscribe and comment below. Let me know how my videos are doing, if there's any particular videos that you'd like me to develop, you'd like me to cover. This weekend I'm going to spend my time working on more non day-to-day news related content, some tutorials and whatnot. So I'm going to put that together so I can start delivering that to you guys in the coming weeks. All right, so like I told you guys in a few videos ago that I'm also working on a course that I'm going to be sharing with you guys, and I'm very excited to do so. So I'm going to give you guys some updates on that in the next coming videos or so. All right, so let's get started, guys. As you can see behind me, I have my Robinhood account open. So today I got into a position. This position is USLV, so it's a long position on a silver ETF, right? So I got in on it at $9.89, and currently it went down a little bit. It hit some resistance on around the level that I purchased it at, and it maintained there. It went sideways from there, but it didn't bounce up. But I still see a lot of value in this coin, so I'm swing trading it from Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday of next week to see how the gains work on that. So let's if you can see my charts on my Thinkorswim platform, I got in on this position. As you can see, there's this sideways trend that it's moving into, right? In the past couple weeks or so, this has been the range that it's been going at. So there's a lot of good volatility here, and the upside is quite a lot. So this is the value that I see in this on this particular on this particular ETF, silver ETF, because I can see that the worst it's played in the last couple weeks has gone down to about $9.31. So I have my stop loss at about $9.60. So we'll see how that pans out. But the upper side is, as you can see, it can go all the way to $10.60 or $10.50 is my goal. So let's look at the action today, guys. So you can see right now, let's go down to the 5-minute charts. Let's just wait for that to load, guys. I've been having some problem with the Thinkorswim platform. The data has just been delayed. It's not quite showing up for me this evening. Maybe they're doing some updates. Excuse me, guys. I had to sneeze there. It's not quite loading for me. Well, it doesn't want to load, guys. So let me just talk about it. So basically, my goal for this particular ETF is for it to go into $10.50. That's my exit point. But if it gets some resistance on the $10.30, $10.25 point, I'm willing to sell it off at that time, maybe sometime on Monday, and see how that pans out for me. So I want to keep you guys posted on this particular trade. As you can see, I bought this. I spent about $316.45. So we'll see. I'm trying to get maybe about, how many did I buy? About 32. So if this moves to about $10.50, I would have made about 60 cents, 60 to 65 cents per share. So that would give me about, 15 bucks or so. So that would be a good trade for me, to see if I could be able to maintain that, and that would net me about my 2%, 2.5% goal. So we'll see how that pans out for me on Monday. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. All right, guys. So let's move into our cryptocurrency stuff. All right. Sorry, guys. I keep muting the video. I still have this cough that I just can't seem to shake off. My wife keeps telling me to drink cough syrup, but I just don't want to. I'm trying to get rid of it naturally, just drinking more water, tea, and whatnot. So just bear with me, guys. So as you can see, the crypto markets today is on the green, although just a little bit. We're just barely going on the green, but I like the trend that it's showing in the last 24 hours. As you can see here, most of the cryptocurrencies is pointing back up into that bearish sentiment. There are some cryptos that are still not fully recovered yet, so we're gonna be looking at those things in particular. Um, Today's market cap is, we're still way under the $500 billion market cap. So right now we're $375 billion market cap, and the volume for cryptocurrencies today is about $17 billion. So not quite, the volume that we'd like to see overall in the market, but our cryptocurrencies are holding up. And like I mentioned today, I mean, just in the last couple of videos, we're not sure what's going to happen, but the trend shows that we're consolidating, and we're keeping the crypto markets from bouncing. I mean, from breaking down. So there's a lot of good news that are coming into the space that are sort of propping up the crypto market and preventing it from crashing. But the bulls are not in full swing. The bears are still trying to take over, trying to push down crypto and Bitcoin and Ethereum and all these other projects down. Like I said, if we hit 8,000, which we almost did, we could drop into the 7,800 range. So we're gonna see if that's gonna happen this weekend. If we're gonna test the 7,800 level on Bitcoin, if we do, I hope we pass that test and come back next week, back in a bullish sentiment. So we'll see how that pans out. So we're gonna check out the charts. There was just some particular cryptocurrencies that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Binance in general, as you can see, Binance really pumped today really hard. As you can see, 23%, 23.73%, almost 24% just today, because of this fact. Binance currently, if people sign up for Binance accounts, using your referral link, which, on the description below, I always add one. If you don't have a Binance account, please do use my Binance account referral ID. It's not going to cost you anything more. It will just be the same thing as if you go into their website, but at least you're sure that you're not getting fished for a link, and you're not going into a wrong Binance site and putting your information there. And also, it helps me out. There's a little bit of some bonuses that you could be able to get. But right now, if you're holding 500 Binance coins, and you get referral commissions, so they upped it to 40% on all accounts. So that is the main reason why Binance has done really, really well. One of the coins that is just being clobbered is Bitcoin Cash. I reported on this couple of videos ago that they did a upgrade, right? They increased their their blockchain to 32 MB. They enabled some of the operation codes that will allow it to be more useful to the space, getting it ready for mass adoption. And it seemed that it had the negative effect of causing a sell-off. So I'm not sure exactly why that is, but I think there's a lot of competition between Bitcoin Cash, and all this stuff. So Bitcoin is still the premium, is still the core coin, but We'll see what happens with Bitcoin Cash. I think it's a really good buy right now, in my opinion. So another coin that did really well today was Steam. Steam is a social media platform, and it's like Medium and um, like a blogging network for the blockchain. You could be able to write articles, earn Steam credits. You could use that to trade that for dollars, right? For your crypto, to your fiat currency. That's one thing that was pumping really, really well today. I think EOS. I'm looking for EOS to pump more. I think it's waiting for the markets to really to do a little bit better. A lot of these cryptos, although it's up today, it took a beating in the last couple weeks. So as you can see, like Bitcoin Cash is down 13% over the last 7 days. Cardano 6%. So there's just definitely a lot of movement that we could be able to see here in the next couple of days. Hopefully it maintains. So let's go check out our chart. So we've been watching this 4-hour chart from Bitfinex for Bitcoin and USD pairing. As you can see, it hit that 8,000 level right here, and it pushed down to about 7,900, and it got bought up right here. Let me see if I can zoom in here. Right, so you can see right here. See this? I hope you guys see this wick. I'm just checking my screen. Yeah, so you can definitely see it. So as you can see, people bought it up. It's maintaining right around that 8,000 level, and it bounced, and it went above, actually, sort of trading sideways within the 15-day exponential moving average line, 15-day EMA line. So it found a little bit of support there. We'll see if it can be able to continue a bullish sentiment going up. So we'll keep an eye on that. But if not, we may break down to all the way to 7,800 level, guys. So we'll see how that pans out this weekend. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But if that happens, hopefully, looking at it, looks like we're gonna get good support there. But if not, we can test all the way to 7,000 level, which we don't want to happen. So we'll keep an eye on that. I'll keep reporting on that over the next couple of days. So let's look at Ethereum and our USD pairs. So as you can see, Ethereum is still moving sideways, guys. It's still, in the last couple of days, since last week, it just sort of just been hovering around this 670 support line. So it's still maintaining there. It got a good bounce today, and it's currently trading at 690, close to 700. Hopefully within this weekend it doesn't go down even more, but as looking at it, it seems to have been holding up. I'm still holding my position here. I'm trying to see. I want to sell it off around up here if it can get closer to the 850 level. That's when I want to be able to sell. So I want to see how that all pans out for me. All right. So let's get on some crypto news generally. Okay. So today, I was reading up on this particular news on Cointelegraph that there's this malware that's been infecting PCs. Thank God I'm on a Mac, so hopefully that keeps me safe a little bit. But there's this malware that's basically hacking. Jacking your computers to mine, cryptocurrencies, Monero in particular. So 500,000 users in 3 days were infected by this, and it's been a little bit of a pain in the butt to try to get rid of. So they say that the malware is very hard to remove since victims' computers crash as soon as they found and terminate the malware. So just just keep an eye on this, guys. Be safe. Don't just download stuff. Stay away from going into websites that you're not supposed to be going into, especially with the computer that you're using for cryptocurrencies. And this is not just your computer, your phone, guys. There was a lot of report in the last couple of months that there was I think it was Electronium. Oh no, maybe it was Monero as well, that was using an exploit on Android phones to hijack it and mine cryptocurrency. So you don't want to fall into that, guys. So please be safe. All right. The next bit of news that I want to talk about was Switzerland. This is not a surprise. Swiss has always been on that investment, holding your money there, you know, zone, in the pretty much forever, right? Everybody talks about get a Swiss bank account and your money will be safe, but that veil has been breached recently because they now the veil of privacy and secrecy of the Switzerland banks are no longer what it used to be, but currently they are ranked number one, guys. Number one as the most blockchain friendly country. So if you're a business starting a blockchain company, Switzerland wants you and they will take care of you. I believe they're first, and oh yeah, so they're first. Gibraltar and Malta follow in at second and third respectively. So if you are doing your own ICO, the regulations there are very, very crypto friendly. They're talking about it to have a crypto valley, like Silicon Valley. They want to be known as Crypto Valley. So that's really, really, really bullish news from Switzerland if you are a blockchain project. Another good news for this week was, well, I'm not sure if this is a good news or bad news, because of, like I told you guys, a lot of institutions are getting in on the crypto space, right? And because of that, a lot of the current players in the market, which Coinbase being the biggest player in the current market, holds a lot of significance to all of us because for the vast majority of people that are going to get in on this, especially from a retail perspective, like you and I, we would go through a software and a company like Coinbase to purchase our cryptocurrencies, right? I do that sometimes, but I generally deposit. I use GDAX so that I can be able to buy my cryptocurrencies at the best prices and without any fees. So I probably will record a video on that. If you guys are interested, let me know if you don't know how to do that. But that's what I do. I'm able to buy my cryptocurrencies, my Bitcoin, my Ethereum, because that's where you start, right? Your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, your Bitcoin Cash. What else do they trade? I think Ethereum Classic, maybe ETC is what they also trade in GDAX and Coinbase. Yeah, I forgot because I normally buy Ethereum and Bitcoin anyway, so I forgot what other pairs they have. But when you buy it from GDAX, as long as you are a market maker, you can pretty much get it without many of the fees. So Coinbase is aiming to obtain their own banking license. I believe, it says right here that it was an announcement on their Twitter that says, today we're announcing Coinbase suite of institutional product. As institutions continue to enter cryptocurrency markets, we are committed to building the products and services that uniquely meet their needs. So they announced this on the 15th. That was, I believe, on Wednesday. The 15th. Today is the 18th. So Wednesday or so, that's when they announced this, or Tuesday, that they're trying to get more institutional products in place. And with that said, of course, they want to be able to, as part of their expansion strategy, is to be able to look at possibly getting their banking license so they can be they'll be more open to doing a lot more opportunities for us and as well as institutional investors. So one other big thing was South Korea is setting its financial regulation commissions are setting itself up to adopt the G20's unified cryptocurrency regulations, right? So there was a quote here. They said that it's almost certain that cryptocurrencies will be classified as assets, and the main issue will be centered on how to regulate them properly. Under the unified frame that will be agreed upon between G20 nations, given the current stance, this isn't good, but we will step up the efforts to improve things. So some of the G20 countries include like Argentina, Australia, Brazil, China, Canada, France, Germany, India, Indonesia, Italy, Japan, Mexico, Russia, Saudis, UK, and of course, United States and the European Union. So if they take that stance and the G20 sort of sets up a regulation that is not stifling to the cryptocurrency world, then that may be a good sign because the rest of the G20 countries may follow suit and follow that guideline. If they consider it as an asset, that's a good thing, right? Because it will allow us to get more clearer regulations in place to treat it as an asset. Because right now, like in the US, like I told you guys a couple of videos ago, there's some confusion here in the US. The IRS, so from a tax perspective, they're treating cryptos as a property, which means that every time you buy and sell crypto, you're bound to taxes, right? You have to pay taxes on any gains whatsoever. If you hold it, you're either subject to short-term capital gains if you trade it, less than 1 year, and if you hold the coin for over 1 year, then you will be subject to a long-term capital gains. So long-term capital gains, it's a lot lower, but you still have to get taxed. But short-term capital gains is almost like, I think, like 40 or 45%. So it's a hefty tax because it's set up that way. And then the Security Exchange Commission is saying that most cryptos are securities. So, and then the CFTC, they're saying that cryptocurrencies are a commodity. So that's sort of, confusing the market. I think we have to be able to, we have to have more clarification of how these categories are defined, right? Because clearly from a usability standpoint, coins like Monero, Bitcoin, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, they really act as currencies. That is their main purpose. Ethereum, on the other hand, is almost like it's a platform. It's like the internet. Basically, you put at dApps, we call it dApps, decentralized applications, on top of the Ethereum, virtual machine. So with that said, how can you consider that a currency? Well, maybe because you trade you trade Ethereum to get in on some ICOs. So yes, it acts like that, but it also acts. The Ether itself acts like like almost like a utility token because you need it to power your dApps. So that's really very, very tricky to do. Tricky to define. So I think we can't just put all cryptocurrencies in one category. I think we need to layer it out and define what they are. Just like a company. Just because you start a business doesn't mean you're a bank. You can't say all businesses are banks, right? You could be a KFC, you're a fast food chain. You're a bank, you're a bank. You're a service business, you're a service business. So it all depends on how these things are categorized by any country, by the G20, United States, or any other country. That will help us get some clarification, and the lawmakers can be able to put in place the right laws to either, protect consumers from scammy stuff, or be able to help us deal with how to invest in this industry much more intelligently, right? So the other bit of news that was pretty big that I was seeing this morning was Ethereum could be the next Apple, according to Steve Wozniak. So if you don't know who Steve Wozniak is, he's basically Steve Jobs' partner. They co-founded Apple, in the garage. If you don't know the story, go watch the Steve Jobs movie. Very fascinating stuff. This guy is ultra smart. He's more of a tech guy than a business guy. He's not the salesman guy. That was Steve Jobs' job. This guy was the one that was developing, basically the hardware. He basically put the Apple product, the Mac one, together, right? So he's saying that Ethereum could be the next Apple. So that's very, very bullish news from him. So this is a very fascinating stuff. So he said that gold gets mined and mined and mined. Maybe there's a finite amount of gold in the world, but Bitcoin is even more mathematical and regulated, and nobody can change mathematics. He's a programmer. He's a hardware guy, so he understands this. He's really really bullish on cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin in general, right? So that's really wonderful news. Because Apple currently has a market cap of about close to $1 trillion. They probably will be the first $1 trillion company. If Ethereum is about at less than $100 billion, so it has quite a ways to go. But Bitcoin is definitely, much closer to that than any other cryptocurrencies, right? Because right now 17 million has already been mined from Bitcoin's perspective. So, as more and more of those are mined, there is less and less to be mined, so the value will exponentially increase as the supply decreases, right? Because a lot of people, they hold their Bitcoin, they don't want to sell it because they might go to like $1 million. So the trade that are happening, it's just we're trading a small fraction of the overall bitcoins, right? There's bitcoins that are gone that will never be recovered. There was a guy that was saying that I think he has like $100 million in Philadelphia, like in a dumpster, in a dump. Like he put it in a hard drive. He accidentally got rid of his hard drive and whatnot, so it's currently sitting in a dump site in Philadelphia. So there's a lot of cryptocurrencies in Bitcoin that can no longer be accessible. So the supply gets even more depleted in that sense, right? So the last bit of news that I want to be able to cover with you guys was Tim Draper, very big venture capitalist guy. He says, he's betting that cryptocurrencies will replace fiat currency in the future. That's big. That's a big prediction. Not to say that that's going to happen, and not to say that the current cryptocurrencies will be the ones that will replace fiat. It could be just a fiat crypto, a country based crypto. That could be it as well. So he was saying, go down here. Oh, right here. Tim Draper on cryptocurrency replacing fiat. He said, I think that in the future, fiat will resemble carrying around change. I know I don't carry change, guys. I hate carrying change, like jiggling in my pocket. For example, in the future, if we would buy coffee with fiat, the barista will look at us like we're crazy. I also think that soon we'll be able to buy coffee and other things with Bitcoin, Ether, Bitcoin Cash, or any number of other cryptocurrencies, all on our phones. I'm not sure where you're from, but here in America, here in the U.S., whenever you go to like your store, put gas, you could just swipe your phone. You either have like Google Pay, or you have the Apple Pay, right? You just tap your phone and you use it. And I think it's the same way as when we move from actual paper cash to using credit cards. I'm sure back in the day, people, our grandparents were saying like, why the hell would I re- trade my cash in and carry like one card? Maybe that was foreign to a lot of our grandparents, but to us, that's a normal thing. I don't even have checkbook anymore. I do have some checks, but there's still the gift checks that I got from the bank when I opened it, and I only use it when I absolutely have to, but I don't really use it that much at all. So, maybe in the future that's how it's going to be. We already have the technology to tap your phone and get charged for your Bitcoin. So, I mean, get charged for your dollars right now, right? You could do PayPal as well. So we'll see how all that pans out. The last bit of quote that I want to hear, I want to read with you guys here is, because on the last few minutes of his interview, he gave a couple pieces of advice for new investors. Right, the way I look at getting started with cryptocurrencies is to get involved a little at a time. I suggest purchasing a small amount of cryptocurrencies on Coinbase, or put some crypto on a ledger. A ledger is a hardware wallet. So if you're worried about someone taking your cryptocurrencies, you can put it there. It's amazing. All you need now is a USB port, and you're able to hold all your money. Basically, act as your own bank. So that advice rings very true. For me, when I got started in this crypto space, late last year, it was more. I got in like $20, bought another $20, traded that, lost my money. I'm still holding those positions, by the way, guys. I haven't actually lost it because I'm still hodling those coins, but the value dropped because of the crazy crash that happened in January. So I've been holding on those particular coins, but that's how I got started, a little bit at a time. So that's what his advice is to all of us. So um, that's pretty much it, guys. If there's any other news that I may have missed, please comment it below so that other listeners can hear all about it. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful week this week. It's a Friday. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. If you haven't done so, please do subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell so you know whenever I put out new videos. Smash the likes, please, and support this channel by commenting below. Give me your feedback. I really, really would appreciate it, right? I want to be able to see what I can do better, what I can improve. I'm sure you guys hate me coughing, so I'm going to work on that as well. All right? Well, until I see you guys on the next video, I'm going to try to produce a video this weekend. Until then, I wish you and your family a success-filled day. Thank you, guys. I love you. Good night.